Hey guys, it's Ashley here today with a book talk on Everything by Nicola Yoon. This book was so good. I'm so excited that I picked it up at BookCon. I'm so excited that I have read it and can now talk about it with you guys because it was so lovely. That's what I've been describing it as in my head, is it was lovely. Everything is about 18-year-old Madeline who is allergic to basically everything. She's allergic to the world. So she's been locked away in her house for the past 17 years because it's safe. It's got all of these like air purifying systems and an airlock door so nobody can get in without being decontaminated. But nobody's even allowed in because of the possibility that she might die from whatever germs they bring in. So the only people in her life are her mom and her nurse Carla and her online tutors that she sees via Skype. But that's it. Until one day, take a second, guess what I'm going to say? A boy moves in next door and they start a strange kind of relationship because he can't come into the house, and they start talking on email and IM and building this relationship, and she makes choices that will change her world. As it says, the greatest risk is not taking one. Mysterious. So she takes these risks and starts living a life. Actually living a life, because she's just been existing in her room before. I first started reading this when I got home from work at midnight, and I had to physically take the book out of my own hands around 3 a.m. so I could get some sleep. I probably could have stayed up reading this whole book and just finished it all one sitting, but it's not the kind of book that you'd want to just rush through just to get to the end. Even though you want to know what's going to happen, you want to know what's going on. I just found myself wanting to savor it and just taking my time enjoying reading this book because it was just so lovely and wonderful. I think what made it even better were the little doodles that she puts in. Doodles. I can't find a doodle. Hold on. There's doodles coming. She just does these little drawings because her whole life is in her room, so she has to make her life interesting. So she does this whole like WebMD type of page about butterflies in the stomach, and then I just think it made it so much more wonderful than it already was. It wasn't just like these doodles described what was happening in the story or depicted something that we had already seen. They actually contributed to the story. So for example, when Maddie first realizes that she's falling for Ollie, it's not just, I really wanted to know what his lips would feel like on mine, or some like weird sentence that you would normally get in a book about first love. It was, and I couldn't stop thinking about kissing Ollie. And then we have 3 pages of this kissing primer about all of the steps that lead up to a kiss and about how to prepare for a kiss, the ideal situations for a kiss, and then a whole page of the mechanics of kissing. And so it's really just her, the character Maddie, going through life and figuring things out in her notebook, and we get to go along for the ride. It was so much fun to just see all of these little pieces come together. I loved the characters in this book. Maddie and Carla were just so much fun. You really got to know who they were and what they were about and why they were the way they were. But Ollie, on the other hand, didn't feel as complete. He felt very one-dimensional and kind of superficial. And we had his history there. We knew what he'd been through. We knew some of the things that he liked and things like that. But it just felt kind of monotone. And it felt to me like he only existed for Maddie, if that makes sense. Like there's this Doctor Who episode. I'm sorry, everything in life comes back to Doctor Who. Donna is in the library and she gets taken away, and you know, she's having this whole dream life of the husband and the kids are sitting in bed with her and they're like, Mommy, it sometimes feels like when you're not here, like we're not here, like we don't really exist. And that's kind of how Ollie felt to me, is like he only existed to do the things with Maddie that she wanted to do, or to be there for Maddie, or to talk to Maddie, or to just be a love interest. And I really wanted more from him. I really wanted to see how his lifestyle impacted him. I really wanted to know what was up with that black rubber band that he wore around his wrist, that it was mentioned so many times and that it was then passed on to Maddie. Why did he have it? What was the purpose? I want to know those kinds of details. Aside from those issues, I really liked Ollie. I think he was fun. I loved the whole parkour thing. I liked how he looked out for his sister and stood up for his mom. Those things were great. I just wish we had a little bit more insight to him. Then, of course, there was the plot twist. I so enjoyed this plot twist. The whole time I'm reading the book, I had this like, oh, what is wrong with this story? There's something that's bugging me about this story. And then we get to the plot twist, and I'm like, that's what it was. My nursing senses were tingling. It was just so perfect. I loved the twist. I thought it was genius. It was fantastic. And you could see once you got to that point, like, oh, that's why these things in the beginning didn't really make much sense. That's why that part bothered me, because this is what was happening. It was just fantastic. Except the part that came after the plot twist, I think we needed more. As much as I love the plot twist, and I loved the direction that Maddie started to go afterwards, I feel like it was just, plot twist! Angst, angst, angst. Oh, Ollie's back, it's okay. That's not enough. I needed like 50 more pages. I needed some more resolution. I needed some more to happen with Dr. Whittier. I needed a little bit more resolution to make this fantastic for me. Overall, I really enjoyed this book. It gets a 4.5 stars from me because it was just really good and really sweet and really wonderful. But those little things that I mentioned, they just kind of, they kept it from being a 5-star review for me. This book talks about some heavy subjects. It talks about abuse, and it talks about chronic illness, and it talks about issues with parents, and I feel like it was handled very well. We didn't have a whole lot of details into any of these things, but I think it was okay. Overall, the story had a very light feel. It was like a great summer read, I just need something fun to read. Even though it was talking about these serious issues, it was very light, but at the same time it wasn't flippant about them. It faced these issues and said, yes, this is a serious issue, but there was hope because these characters were able to come out of it and grow out of it and figure out what their life was about. Carla encapsulated it best when she said, life is a gift, don't forget to live it. I think that's what these characters were really kind of striving for, was to figure out how do they live their lives with these bad pasts, with these bad memories, with all of this stuff that's happened to them. How do they go on and live a life that is about them and that is what they want to get out of it? I loved so many of the little details and little story pieces that were put into this. That whole bundt cake thing at the beginning with the suicidal bundt cake, I thought that was absolutely hilarious. I was cracking up reading that. The whole thing with the suitcases when they're at the airport I thought was adorable. I loved how Maddie related to traveling and how she felt about having a suitcase and she'd put stickers on it and wrap it in plastic wrap. And that line about how the air smelled like jet fuel and cleaning products and she could grow to love that smell because it would mean she's traveling, that connected with me on a deep level. Now, I love to travel and I love that smell, I guess. I don't love it so much as like, ooh, I like that smell. That smells really good. I love it in the sense that it means you're at the airport and fun things are about to happen. I have this whole thing about airports. I have like a whole, what's the right word? Theory? I guess a theory. I have a whole theory thought up about airports and time and smells. I love to travel, and so that part of Maddie really helped me connect with her and really like her. This book is fantastic. I cannot wait to read more books from her because I think her point of view is just really cool. I think her way of writing and incorporating all these doodles is really unique, and I'm curious to see if she's going to continue it in other books that she writes or if it's going to change. So Nicola, I really enjoyed your book. I can't wait to read more from you. Please don't make us wait too long. It does not go on sale until September 1st, so you will have to wait until then, but you are definitely going to want to pick up a copy of this book because it was everything. A little bit of everything in this book. There's love, there's family, there's drama, there's angst, there's everything. Once you've read this book, please come and let me know what you think about it. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What did you think? I want to know. Leave comments down below. I would love to talk to you about it. I hope you all have a great week. Chrissy, sorry you're not in this video, but hi! See you guys later. Alright, so I'm going to do a little bit of spoilers here. So if you have not read this book, you should go away. Go away now. Seriously, go away. Bye-bye. Spoilers are coming in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so this might be a little bit of ranting because there's some things that just really bothered me about this book, but that shouldn't stop you from reading it because, like I said, I love this book. But Maddie has spent her entire life locked away in her house, knowing that she's allergic to everything. To everything. Like, her books come decontaminated and wrapped in plastic wrap to her house. That's how allergic to the world she is. When she decides to run away, she doesn't take any precautions. Okay, sure, you're going out into the world. It might kill you. Whatever. But, like, not even a single precaution. Like, she goes on an airplane. Really dirty, gross air in an airplane. Then she eats anything that is offered to her. Literally anything. It comes her way and she's eating it. Even though she knows she has all of these allergies. Or she thinks that she has all of these allergies, because at this point she doesn't know the truth. But she thinks that she has all these allergies and is going to get killed by the world, yet she just goes out and does everything. And eats all of the things. Maddie, what are you doing? Stop. Just stop. Okay? I had an issue with that. Maddie's mom. Okay, that whole plot twist where she kind of makes up this illness is crazy, and I thought that was such a brilliant twist. I really enjoyed it. But we needed some more resolution. The whole book just kind of ends with Maddie being really, really mad at her mom, and I understand that. I'd be pissed too if I'd been locked in my house for my entire life for no reason, just because my mom was crazy and grieving. But also, like, what happened to all their friends? Like, what happened to anybody that knew her mom before? Where did they all go? Why did nobody step in and intervene? Carla's a nurse. Didn't she find it suspicious that this girl who's allergic to everything never got sick? Like, I know she's in her house and everything's safe and whatever, but for somebody who actually has a disease like that, anything could set them off, even if it's something in their environment all the time. It could have been like a little tiny thing in Carla's medical bag that she takes back and forth every day that could have contributed to her having some sort of outbreak or getting sick. Her mom's a freaking doctor, which means she works with sick people, and you're telling me she never once brought home some sort of infectious process, some sort of cold, some sort of anything? That doesn't make sense to me. Not even a little. Even if we suspend reality and say, okay, she never brought home anything that she could pass on to Maddie, she probably got sick herself a couple of times. Even in the health profession, yeah, your immune system gets built up over time. You still come down with some colds from time to time. What did she do then? Like, lock herself out of the house and just let Maddie fend for herself? Things like that didn't make sense to me. But maybe that was kind of a way of foreshadowing the whole plot twist where Maddie's not actually sick. Where did these two kids actually get cash to pay for all the things that they wanted to do in Hawaii? Plot holes. Anyways, this is just me ranting. I rant about everything. Even in a good book, there are things to rant about. Overall, this book was fantastic. I really enjoyed it so much. That's why it gets 4.5 stars. It was just beautiful. It was lovely. It was everything that I wanted it to be. That's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope that when you read this book, you'll come back and let me know what you thought of it. Alright guys, have a great week, and I will see you soon with another video. Have a great week, and stay sassy. I need to come up with a tagline. That wasn't it. Stay sassy. No. I don't know. What do you guys think my tagline should be? Leave it down below. I have no idea.